Welcome back. We're going to finish up this review sheet here with the graphing portion, so part 2. So we're going to jump right in. So again, I talked about there are 3 ways to graph with 4th hour. 5th hour, we didn't get that opportunity. But there are 3 ways to graph. We can make an XY chart. Don't necessarily always suggest that way. We can use slope-intercept form, or we can find our x and y intercepts. Now, x and y intercepts might not always work, but slope-intercept form will always work, and if you plug in some x values, you'll always get some y values. So really you can use any way. I'll mix it up, I'll vary it up, I'll show you a few different ways. That way you can see a few different ways. I probably will not. So if we look at this first one, I'm going to use slope-intercept form on this one, because I see that it's in the form y equals mx plus b. So I need to know 2 things from there. I need to know m and I need to know my y-intercept. Well, my m is my slope, and my slope is -2/5. My y-intercept is b, and that's going to be at 5. So I can graph this at 5 on the y-axis. There's my first point. And then I'm going to use my slope to get another point. So since it's -2/5, I know it's going to fall 2 and run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, all I need is 2 points. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with number 2 because it's in y equals mx plus b. It's easy. M is 1 because there's nothing out in front, and the y-intercept is at 2. So it's going to hit the y-axis at 2. We're going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, 1 over 1. We could go down 1, left 1, but there's my line. I only really need 2 points. Okay. Let's look at the next 2. The next 2 are special case scenarios that you do need to know for tomorrow. Y equals -2 and x equals 1. Okay? If y equals -2, that's a horizontal line at -2. If x equals 1, that's a vertical line at 1. Make sure you have arrows on the end of your line. Make sure you know when y equals something, horizontal, however you want to remember that. And when x equals something, it's vertical, however you want to remember that. Okay. Next couple. Okay. Number 5, we have this not in y equals mx plus b. So we're going to actually use our x and y intercepts to graph these. This is actually what is called standard form here. So remember, when we're working with our x-intercept, y is 0, y-intercept, x is 0. So if I plug that in, y is 0, I would end up with 3x equals -4. So when I divide this out, I get x equals -4/3, or -1 1/3. So be about right there is where it hits, sorry, the x-axis, not the y-axis. -1 1/3. There we go. Okay. Now, when y equals 0, the y-intercept, when x equals 0, we're going to have -2y equals -4. Divided by -2, y is going to equal 2. So it hits the y-axis at 2, because this is -4/3, 0, and this would be 0, 2. There's my line. Now, could you make this into y equals mx plus b? Sure, that's a little bit more work, so we didn't go that route. So I did 2 different ways, and then we had our special occasions with the x equals and the y equals. If you want to use the points, that's fine. It just might take a little bit more time, and you don't want to mess up on plugging your x into the function. Okay, then we move on to absolute value equations. And the best way to do this, okay, again, you could write out your XY chart, but the best way is to focus on the vertex form. Remember, we have this here. So with H and K being our vertex. So we're going to look in here and see what our vertex is. Well, our vertex here is going to be at 3, 2. Remember, we want that subtraction sign there, so 3, 2. And then our A is going to tell us if it's heading up or down. So 3, 2, right there. And then the negative is telling us that we're going down. So we're going over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1. So our graph should look like that. Make sure you have arrows on the end there. Okay, next one, same thing. I'm looking at my H and my K. My vertex here is going to be at 2, 2. Then I look at A. This one's going to be going up because it's positive. So at 2, 2, I'm going to be going over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1. Boom. Okay. For number 8, if I'm looking for my vertex, I don't have anything inside the absolute value, so that's going to be at 0. Then outside I have 3, so that's going to move us vertically. And then we notice that it's negative, so it's reflected, so it's going to be going down. So at 0, 3, we're going to be going down. Over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1. Oops. Try to use a straight edge if you can, piece of paper, whatever works. Okay, so we only have one left, and then we will be done. This last one, okay, this one's going to be heading up. We don't have a negative. My vertex is going to be at 0, negative 3. Remember, if it was something like this inside your vertex, you would be at negative 1 inside the absolute value. It's the opposite of what you think. So if it was this, this is what we would have. We didn't have an example of that. But here is at 0, negative 3, and then it's positive. So we're going over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1. If you just do 2 on each side, that's fine too. Just make sure you draw those arrows at the end. All right, that's all we have. If you have questions, make sure you come see me tomorrow morning. Otherwise, be ready for the test tomorrow. Have a wonderful night.